What is going on, faithful everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Niners Sickness Podcast. Going live, all the way live on a Friday afternoon. Welcome, everyone. We're going to talk about the trenches, where it matters, where the rubber meets the road. The Niners offensive line versus the Eagles defensive line. The Niners defensive line versus the Eagles offensive line. Who will win in the trenches, and who is better equipped to win this game? We're going to talk about that and more right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. How you doing? Damien is in the house. What's up, Damien? Before we get started, let's make sure that everyone do me the common courtesy to wiping your feet, your stinky feet, and smash that like button for your boy Niners Sickness. I would truly appreciate that. Let's say hello to Damien's in the house. What's up, Damien? What's up, Beto and the Niner faithful? We got Austin Blackwood in the house. What's up, Austin Blackwood? Welcome coming in. He says, what's up, Beto? So, Nadine's in the house. What's up, Nadine? Welcome, Nadine. Hello, Beto. Hello, Nadine. Welcome. Good to see you. So, the Niners face off on Sunday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. A lot of people are not giving the 49ers a chance to win. A lot of the social media, a lot of the talking heads, the so-called professionals, they're all picking the Eagles. And I understand why. They're picking the Eagles to win. They're like, the Eagles are going to win this game easily. Now, a lot of them are talking about blowout. They're saying that the Eagles are going to blow out the Niners. Now, I don't understand where that comes from. But we're going to talk about the trenches. We're going to talk about the Eagles defensive line, offensive line versus the Niners offensive line and defensive line. And is there any concern, legitimate concern to have? Now, this game is not going to be easy. But for the Eagle fans to already be punching their ticket into the Super Bowl and taking the 49ers lightly, they better just hope that the team is not taking the Niners lightly, because if they are in a world of trouble. Yes, the Niners haven't faced a team like the Eagles, but have the Eagles really faced a defense and an offense like the Niners? Have the Eagles really squared off against a play caller like Kyle Shanahan and a defensive coordinator like DeMeco Ryans? This game is going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to who makes the less amount of mistakes. Who's going to turn the ball over? When are they going to turn the ball over? Because losing the ball is one thing. Losing the ball at a crucial moment in time in the game is a whole different ball game. Who's going to carry momentum? How are the special teams going to play? Are all three faces are going to show up? Offense, defense, and special teams? How do you take out the crowd? How do you remove the crowd from being so loud? Completing first downs. The more first downs you get, the more you move the ball, the quieter the fan base gets. Let me tell you, people get tired of yelling. You start, "Go Eagles," and you start yelling. After a minute or two, you start getting, your voice starts going out. So how do you keep another fan base from being quiet? You keep converting third downs into first downs. Continue to move the chain. Continue to make big plays. You do that, and you'll limit the crowd noise. What's up, John? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you for adding your name. I appreciate that. Nadine says, I noticed that. Damien says, I hope we get back to running the game. Yes, that is going to be so vital in this game, Damien. The Niners have to find a way to truly run the ball. The Eagles are 20th in stopping the run. Now they're going to sell out to stop the run. The Eagles, if I was the Eagles, I'm going to stop the run, and I'm going to force Brock Purdy to beat us with his arm. Not that Brock can't do it, but if the Eagles stop the Niners run game and force the Brock to win the game, well, their D linemen, now all they got to do is pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. And that's what we want to eliminate. How do you eliminate a lot of that? You run the rock. You do it with Christian. You do it with Elijah. You do it with Debo, Ray. Whatever it takes to get the ball moving on the ground. But people are like, are we going to run the ball to set up the pass? Not in this game. And we haven't done it lately. The Niners are more of a pass offense to set up the run. In other words, the Niners pass to set up the run. The better the passing is, the better chances are to run the ball wide. Because if we're able to complete passes, then the linebackers or safeties have to now respect the pass. So they're going to back up. And if they back away from the line of scrimmage, that's when you get your opportunities to run the ball. Will the Niners be successful in running the ball? That is the $1 million question. Let's welcome Bob. How you doing, Bob? Welcome to the stream. Let's all welcome Don Dodson in the house. How you doing, Don? Let's all welcome Frank in the house. How you doing, Frank? Welcome. Let's welcome Bryant to the chat. How you doing, Bryant? Welcome. Happy Friday. Let's go Niners. And also, I forgot to mention with Dawn, let's also welcome Jayla and Ariel to the stream. Let's welcome Gil. How you doing, Gil? Welcome to the stream. Red and gold until we are all dead and cold. I love it. Not the dead part, but you know what I mean. John says, smash mouth football on both sides of the ball. Exactly, John. Exactly. Hit that like button, everyone, and share and subscribe. Now, listen, guys. That offensive line, defensively, that D line for the Eagles is no joke. I'm drinking out of my Niners sickness cup provided by my beautiful wife. Thank you, babe. Facebook user, happy Friday. If you're not, if Ecamm, which is the stream that I use to go live, cannot identify who you are on Facebook, please put your name at the last of your comment so that I can identify you properly. And if not, you want to make your way over to YouTube. YouTube will let me know who you are. Unless you want to be anonymous, then that's fine. But so that I can address you properly, if you can add your name, I would appreciate it. So, the Niners, what do they got to do? What do they got to do to be successful on Sunday? What do the Niners need to do to be successful on Sunday? They're going to have to start fast. I know this is cliche. I know it's cliche. I know, but the Niners haven't been known to start fast. We know this. For some reason, which is mind-boggling to me, we start slow. Why do we start slow? I got no clue, but we do. Now, in the second half, we step it up and we flourish. But against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, with the weapons they have on offense, you cannot start slow on this team. You got to start fast. Put up 3 points or a touchdown on your first possession of the game. You can't afford to go 3 and out against this team. You just can't. The 49ers are loaded on both sides of the ball, but so are the Eagles. The Eagles are also loaded on both sides of the ball. That pass rush for the Eagles is ferocious. I mean, 4 of their linemen all have double-digit sacks. Okay, so I just want to be clear. On the 49ers side, you got Nick Bosa at 18 and a half sacks for the season. Great. But then you have a drop-off, a big drop-off. You have Charlie Omenihu with 4.5 sacks. You got Eric Armstead with no sacks. And I understand, or 1 or 2, I forgot what it was. But I understand he's been hurt for most of the year. You got Javon Kinlaw, who just came back with no sacks. You got Samson with, I believe, 1 sack or 2. And then on the Eagles side, give me a second. On the Eagles, you got Brandon Graham. Okay, he has 11 sacks through the year. You got Fletcher Cox with 7 sacks, and he's the lowest of the bunch. And he has 7. You got Javon Hargrave with 11 sacks through the year. You got Josh Sweat with 11 sacks, 1 fumble, and 1 interception. And then you got Hassan Reddick. This kid, what a pickup for the Eagles, man. Hassan Reddick, I love this player. He has 16 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. This guy is a beast. The Niners are going to have to contain Hassan Reddick. I'm very nervous when it comes to Mike McGlinchey. I'm very nervous when it comes to Mike McGlinchey defending Hassan Reddick. 16 sacks throughout the year, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's a beast. Can the 49ers offense protect Brock Purdy? And now Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme plays that it's going to help the offensive line. Okay? Brock Purdy is going to have to get the ball out of his hand quickly. His decision making is going to have to be a little bit quicker. Now, the difference between the Cowboys pass rush, which are pretty good, and the Eagles is that the Cowboys pass rush is fast. That defense is fast. As good as the Eagles, as good as the Eagles pass rush is, they are a bit slower. What does that mean? It means that against the Cowboys, when Brock Purdy wanted to set his feet, by the time he does his progressions, here comes the pass rush, right? By the time he realized who's going to give the ball to, let's say he's looking at Debo, then he's looking at Ayuk, and then he finally decides, I'm going to go to Kittle. And by the time he's ready to set his feet to throw the ball, boom, here comes Lawrence. Or here comes Micah. That rush is fast. With the Eagles, even though they have a great pass rush, they're not as quick off the line. Means it's going to give Brock an opportunity a little bit longer to make his progressions and then be able to set his feet. Because we know once Brock Purdy sets his feet, once his feet are set, that ball is going to get to where it needs to go. And as long as we can get the ball out of our hands quickly, the Niners will take the pressure off the offensive line from that ferocious D-line of the Eagles. Good afternoon, brother. It's me, Grayson. What's up, Grayson Nelson? How you doing, sir? Welcome. Mike Rodriguez is in the house. Welcome, Mike. How you doing, sir? Demont Bishop, welcome. Born a Niner fan. I love it. Hello, blessed Friday. Linda Marshall, Niners for life, baby. Welcome, Linda Marshall, to the Niner Sickness Podcast. Glad to have you. Niner Empire, what's up, everyone? What up, Niner fans? Bang, bang, Niner gang. We're so excited for the game on Sunday. It's going to be a fun game until it isn't. George Kittle. What's up, George Kittle? Hey, you need to be ready for Sunday. What are you doing in my chat? You need to be over there looking at film on the defense of the Eagles. But thank you for wiping your feet while you're here there, Mr. George Kittle. So, Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme up plays for Brock Purdy to get rid of that ball, we're going to run the ball. We're going to set up the play action. We're going to do screens, jet sweeps to get the ball in the playmaker's hands. We need to get the ball on Debo's hands. Debo needs to do Debo stuff. I noticed when Debo was hurt, we used Ray on a jet sweep, and he did pretty good. We need to implement that more in this game. I am confident that Kyle Shanahan is going to have a great game plan. It's just a matter, will the Niners be able to execute this game plan? Get the ball out of Brock's hand early. Get the ball into the playmaker's hand. Get it into Debo. Get it into Ayuk, Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, CMC. And that pressure won't be as strong from the Eagles. But you got to get the ball out. How you doing, Maylene? Welcome to the channel. Do the Eagles have a strong defense? Yes, they do. They have a very good defense. I am going to say here on record that this is the best defense that the Niners will face all year from an opposing team. Now, the Niners, in practice, Brock Purdy has faced the number one defense. But even though you face that on practice, they're not going to hit you. Okay? Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and company are not going to touch you in practice. The Eagles, on the other hand, they're not going to stop from trying to touch you. They're going to try to kill you. So Brock Purdy needs to continue to make great decisions, quick reads. Now, it is unprecedented for a rookie quarterback, much less a quarterback taken in the 7th round with the last pick of that round, to be playing in an NFC championship game. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be honest. Regardless of what happens on Sunday, now I want to win. I want to see the Niners in the Super Bowl. Yes. But regardless of what happens on Sunday, regardless of the outcome on Sunday, I am proud of what Brock Purdy has done. I'm excited about what Brock Purdy is going to do going forward. A whole offseason with Brock Purdy as a starter, practicing with the ones, building around Brock Purdy. The more confident Brock gets, the better he'll get. So regardless of what happens on Sunday, whether we win or lose, I'm a believer in Brock Purdy. I am a great believer. Now, I love Trey Lance. I wanted Trey Lance to be drafted by the Niners last offseason before the draft. But I'm a believer in Brock Purdy. And this game on Sunday is not going to change my mind about Brock Purdy. And I know a lot of Niner fans, if Brock Purdy has a bad game, let's say for the first time he has a rookie game, throws two interceptions. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but throws 2 interceptions, has a bad game, and we lose. A lot of Niner fans are going to start crying for Trey Lance. Yeah, I knew it. Brock is not the answer. Brock is not the answer. It was always Trey. Right? But if Brock wins on Sunday, yep, I knew it was going to be Brock all along. And those fans with all due respect, are wishy-washy. You got to look at the film. You got to look at the all-22. Okay, one game does not dictate a body of work throughout the 8 games that he has won. Now, I'm not saying he's going to struggle. I'm not saying he's going to be bad on Sunday. But I'm being realistic, though, that if Brock has one of his worst games, it doesn't change my mind of what I think about him. I still believe that he's our quarterback of the future. I still want him to be the starter. But if he goes on Sunday and tears it up and has a great game, then whether we win the Super Bowl or not, I think especially if you win it, I think they're going to make a movie on this kid. This is how special this kid is. Welcome, Maud Lopez, to the chat. Welcome. Philly hasn't played against a defense like the Niners. Niners had a much tougher schedule. We're a better team. Philly is a great team, but Niners can only beat themselves. No time for turnovers or costly penalties. I love that our Niners are the underdogs. All them Eagles are underestimating our Niners. Let's go Niners. Pluck them Eagles. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Frank. And you're right. The only team that can hurt the Niners are the Niners themselves. No mental errors. No costly penalties. Mike McClinchy on a 3rd and 8 conversion to a first down, it cannot be called back because you had an offside. You got to play smart, Niners. No turnovers and no costly penalties. Great point there, Frank. Max Trevino, welcome to the channel. We're going to win the trophy. Just feel and know how many teams play, and we are the best. And it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be optimistic. It's okay to be excited. The Eagles offense hasn't faced a defense like the 49ers. They haven't. They played the Commanders and they lost. And as you know, the Commanders defense is nowhere near the Niners defense. They played the Cowboys and lost. And the Cowboys defense is nowhere near as good as the Niners. Jalen Hurts is going to find out how good this defense is. Now, it's a matter of playing smart football. It's a matter of D'Amico Ryans making the right adjustments, calling the right plays, and putting his players in the right positions to win. I don't care how good the game plan is. If the players cannot execute that game plan, it doesn't really matter. These players need to execute the game plan on both sides of the ball. Kyle Shanahan is going to put Brock Purdy in good situations. But you can't have Debo or Ayuk dropping the ball. Don't drop the ball when the ball gets there, Ayuk. Ayuk, you got to catch those balls. Because, again, Kyle Shanahan can have the great scheme, great call, great execution by Brock. But if you drop the ball, Ayuk, all for nothing. Got to play smart football. Let's all welcome Victor to the live. How you doing, Victor? 100% is all Niners. Yes, they are going to win. I love the confidence. I do. And I don't like the idea that the Eagle fans, I understand they're excited. I understand that their team is the number one seed. I understand they're fired up for their team. But for them to already punch in their ticket to the Super Bowl and kind of just overlooking the Niners is a huge mistake. Yes, we do. Brock is better than Trey. Sorry. I can't argue that. Now, I don't know what Trey Lance's potential will be, but that's the key word, potential, right? Trey Lance has the potential to be great. Brock Purdy is already showing that he is great. And to me, that's the difference from someone that may have the potential to be great to someone that is already showing how good he is in Brock Purdy. And this is not taking nothing away from Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be a phenomenal player in his own right. But I just love what Brock Purdy is doing. I love how smart he is. I'm not saying Trey is not smart, but I love the decision making of Brock. His completion rate is really high. He's accurate. He's able to escape the pocket, and he's able to make his reads quick. I like everything that Brock Purdy has to offer. And I'm not hating on Trey. I love Trey. Now, this is the discussion for the offseason. But if Brock, I'm already sold on Brock. Now, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's at their own level on Brock. I'm already sold out on Brock. I've seen enough of Brock Purdy to tell me that he's definitely our quarterback of the future. He may not have the big arm, but in this system, you don't need it. It helps, obviously. Listen, Joe Montana did not have a big arm, but he was cool and collective. Joe Cool, they used to call him. He was precise with the football. He didn't let the game get too big for him. He was always calm, cool. He was always laser focused. Joe Montana always made his progressions and got the ball where it needed to go. I see a lot of similarities from Brock Purdy that I saw from Joe Montana when he got drafted from Notre Dame in the 3rd round. I'm an old man, or older. I got to see Joe Montana play his whole career. I got to see Joe Montana start playing for Bill Walsh. I seen the ups and downs of Joe Montana through his whole career, from beginning to end. And what I saw in Joe back then in the 80s, and what I'm seeing from Brock Purdy, in my personal opinion, there's a lot of similarities. Now, I'm not saying that Brock Purdy is going to win 4 Super Bowls. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he's not, because only God knows the future. I don't. You don't. But what I seen from Joe Montana when he first came in and took his first snap for the 49ers, and what I seen from Brock Purdy, I like the similarities. And that's a good thing. What's up, Joey? Let's welcome Joey in the house. What's up, Joey? Make sure to hit that like button for me. I would appreciate that. That is so true. You're right. Don't let my wife hear you say that. Don't let my wife hear you say that I'm right, because that's a no-no around here. Rolando Lopez. Well, let's welcome Rolando Lopez into the house. What's up, homie? Don is the Raider fan, happy his team is on the couch. We got my friend, my brother from another mother, Dion. What's up, Dion, from Niner Gang Podcast? My brother, listen, guys, do me a favor. Make sure to go out and support my boy Dion. He is doing great stuff with his channel, very knowledgeable. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up, though. If you don't like a foul mouth, if you don't like to hear bad words, you might want to filter him. But if you're okay with all that, then this guy is the guy to support and love, man. I love him. I love to watch him. He knows his stuff. And I look up to this guy. So make sure to go to Dion's channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that like on his videos, for he does a lot of good content over there. Welcome, my friend. John says, Brock and Jalen played against each other. Yeah, I watched that game. Iowa State versus the Sooners. And Brock only lost by 1 point. Dang, what a game. He came back. He brought his team back from a deficit, and they went for 2, and they didn't get it. The coach went for the win. A gutsy call. A lot of Iowa fans did not like it. Iowa State fans did not like it. But he made a gutsy call. Instead of going for the extra point to tie it, he went for the win. Didn't get it, but he went for it. And you want that. See, people look at it as like, wow, he shouldn't have went for it. Why? Because he didn't get it, right? The fact that he went for it, I like those type of coaches myself. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Bang, bang. What's up, Rob D. Art? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Make sure to hit that like button. Welcome. Let's welcome Rob in the house. Let's welcome my boy Cardcast in the house. What's up, Sickness? What's up, Cardcast? Welcome, Cardcast. Great guy. Love this guy. Youngster, I know he's been busy with school. I don't know how he's doing it with his channel, but go and support his channel too. He has a great channel. He probably hasn't been producing videos because he is a young man. He is going to school. And but go and support his channel anyway. Great guy. Let's welcome my boy Daniel. Bree Sports is in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome. OMG. The trolls already. Oh, I haven't gone down that much. Homeboy, I think that if we can protect Brock Purdy all day, now that's easier said than done, my friend. We will win. Now, the protection doesn't necessarily mean that the offensive linemen need to win their matches. Of course, they need to win their matches, but it's also on the way that Kyle schemes the offensive plays to help out a Mike McClinchy, to help out a Spencer Burford. But Brock Purdy is going to have to get the ball out of his hands and get out of his hands quickly. Yep. And yeah, and the only one that doesn't is Fletcher Cox, and he has 7. Their worst lineman in the sacks category with 7 still has more than all our guys put together besides Bosa. Think about that for a minute. Now, this is something that I hope the Niners correct in the future. Nick Bosa is going to need help. I love Eric Armstead. He's very disruptive in that front. And I know he missed a lot this year. He's dealing with the pain. And I know that that takes account. But the Niners need to work on their development of pass rushers. They need to get some. Hopefully Drake Jackson is that guy. But the Eagles, they come at you at waves. Right? The Niners is more like, okay, double protect against Bosa. If you hold against Hassan Reddick, you got Josh Sweat coming at you. If you hold against Josh Sweat, then you have, what's the other guy's name? Hold on. Then you have Brandon Graham, or you have Javon Hargrave. See, Javon Hargrave is what I would love for Javon Kinlaw to be. As a D tackle, stop the run, but be effective in the pass rush as well. If the 49ers defense had the pass rush that the Eagles do, oh my goodness. OMG. They're going to be feasting on Sunday. We will see, though. Tech Village Idiot. I love that name, bro. That is crazy. That is funny. What's up, Beto? Let's all welcome our Tech Village Idiot into the chat. Make sure to hit that like button for your boy. Let's all welcome Scott Hill to the Niner Sickness Podcast. Make sure to hit that like button. What's up, Beto? Mike McClinchy and the entire O-line has to be in tip-top shape for this game, physically and mentally. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gonna head out, Niner family. The girls are getting out of school in 15 minutes. If you are going live tonight, the girls and I will be there for sure. Dawn, you have a wonderful day. Tell the girls I said hello. Have a blessed day. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tonight or not, but if I do, you'll get the notification and I'll see you then. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping in. Always, always a pleasure of having you in my chat. Eric Armstead only has 1 sack this entire season. Would have had other ones against Dallas if if he didn't ease up. I know. Now he has been hurt and he's dealing with that injury. So Javon Clowney said he wanted to be a Niner next year. He's leaving the Browns. That's interesting. The Niners do need to address, and this is the beauty, okay? This is the beauty of having a quarterback that only counts against the cap 1%. Brock Purdy is playing in the NFC Championship game for the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl. And he only counts 1% against the salary cap, which means we're going to pay Bosa, but we have enough money to bring in another top pass rusher to help, whether it's a Javon Clowney, or I say Javon, but that's not his name. I can't pronounce his first name, but Clowney, you know what I meant. David Villa is in now. Let's welcome David Villa to the chat, everyone. Make sure to hit that like button. What's up, Niners Sickness and the faithful Niners, the best in the world. I love it. Watch for Kittle, CMC. We're gonna need huge games from Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. Scott, you are 100% correct. We're gonna need a huge game from CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Kittle, and Debo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk needs to make sure he catches the balls that are given to him. We need to use Ray. Jawan Jennings needs to be a good receiver for us in this game. We're going to need our complete arsenal of weapons to be playing their A game in this game. The Yak Boys need to come through. We need the Yak Boys to do exactly that. Yards after the catch. Let's turn a 10-yard pass into a 90-yard play. Let's turn a 5-yard pass to a 40-yard play. We can do it. We can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
McClinchy versus Hassan Reddick. Who leads Philly in sacks with 16? I think he is right behind Nick Bosa in the sack leader category for 2023. Yeah, I think he is. I thought it was Parsons, but it is Hassan Reddick. This guy's a beast. Ever since he was, that's how I tell you how bad the organization is in Arizona. Arizona Cardinals are just a bad organization. They drafted this kid and misused him. All right? They misused Hassan Reddick. Then he goes for 1 year to the Carolina Panthers and has a monster year. And the Carolina Panthers were stupid to let him go. They were stupid to let him go. And now he went back home to Philly, where he's from, and is playing lights out in Philadelphia. My goodness, that guy's a beast. Yeah, field goals won't not suffice against a heat-seeking Eagles. We cannot compete if we're doing kick field goals compared to their touchdowns. We need to match the intensity of the Eagles. The Niners need to match the intensity of the Eagles. They score, we score. They don't score, we still score. We cannot afford to trade field goals for touchdowns in this game, for sure. Carcast. 100% agree. We need to use Jordan Mason to run up the middle instead of CMC. I don't know why Jordan Mason doesn't get used more than he has. I don't understand that from Kyle. I know I mentioned this earlier in the live. I know that when Debo was hurt, remember we used Ray in that jet sweep, and he had a huge gain. We need to do that with Ray and Debo. We got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at that defense. We need to keep that defense on their heels. We got to keep that defense always thinking and not reacting. Couple of motions with Debo, line Debo as a running back, pass it to CMC, use Ray, give the ball to Ray, and then he flicks it to Debo, and Debo runs it, or vice versa. We're going to need to do a lot of screens, in my opinion, to take the heat off that pass rush, let's use that aggressiveness of that pass rush against them. As soon as their defensive linemen come at us, let's get Debo behind those D-line, and let's do the little dink and dunks, the little screens. Like I said, a 2-yard screen that turns into a 30, 35-yard gain. The Yak boys need to show up, and they need to eat a lot of yards after those catches. Game plan. Establish the run game early with CMC and Elijah Mitchell. Then play action, pass off to that targeting the middle of the field in the Eagles linebacking where they are most vulnerable. Yeah, their linebacking core is not that good. And where, if you look at Brock Purdy, where he's most successful, is exactly where those linebackers are not. And that's going to be a good matchup for Brock Purdy. Can he get the ball there? Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Can he get there? Can he deliver the ball where it needs to go as quickly as he possibly can? Because that pass rush will be coming. But I think if we use a lot of screens, play action, jet sweeps, we'll be able to keep that defense on its heels. Now let's talk a little bit about Mike McGlinchey. What does Mike McGlinchey need to do to not stop, but try to contain Hassan Reddick? We're going to need Mike McGlinchey to have one of his best games. I know that's a lot to ask, but he's going to have one of those games like he hasn't had in a long time. Mike McGlinchey cannot be tossed to the ground like number 11 did last week from number 7. Hassan Reddick cannot throw you on the floor, man. We're going to need Mike McGlinchey to play his A game. Because to me, that is the weakest link on that offensive line. Mike McGlinchey, get your head out of your and play some good football. JR Meadows is in the house. What's up, JR? Niners 32, Eagles 17. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. It's going to be a much closer. My prediction earlier was Niners 24, Eagles 20. But we're going to find out the feel of the game in this first couple of possessions, how the game's going to go. If we get the ball and we get an easy 3 and out, oh man, it's going to be a long game. Can we establish a couple of first downs, even if we do punt the ball? Then I'm okay with that. Not happy, but okay with it. But if we get the ball and we, boom, 3 and out, yeah, it's going to be a little scary. Austin, welcome, my friend. We are going to win by more than a TD. I hope so. I really, really do. At the end of the day, I want the Niners to win. I absolutely want the Niners to win. But I am happy what we found out that we now have our future quarterback. Because even if Trey Lance would have got, let's say we would have never found out who Brock Purdy is. Okay, let's for a moment, Brock Purdy never existed. We didn't know. Well, not existed, but you know what I mean. He never played this year. Jimmy was terrible. Never got hurt. We will have to wait to next year to see if Trey Lance is definitely the quarterback that we need. We will be in limbo, right? We will be like, all right, another year, let's go with Trey. Let's see what Trey does. And that would be exciting, but it'll be a lot of unknowns. But knowing what I know now with Brock Purdy, since he took over against Miami, regardless of what happens on Sunday, I am a firm believer in Brock Purdy. I believe we have our quarterback of the future, a quarterback we can build around. I want to win on Sunday. I want to go to the Super Bowl because imagine we win on Sunday. The whole week of media week, Super Bowl media week, imagine how much talk we're going to hear of Brock Purdy. Imagine how much conversation the whole week of media week for the Super Bowl we're going to hear about Brock Purdy. So I want to win on Sunday. But God forbid we don't. And this is me just being realistic, not being negative, just being realistic. I am completely sold that we found our quarterback of the future. What we will do with Trey Lance, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to keep him, trade him. I don't know. That's something for a discussion in the offseason and future podcast. Not just by me, but, by other content creators as well. But I know we found our quarterback of the future. Brock is the quarterback. And I'm confident going in the offseason and starting to build on a quarterback that I've seen his potential instead of trying to build on a quarterback that we're hoping he might be great. While we know the Brock is good. I don't know about you. Have you guys seen enough of Brock to be sold on him? Or are you of those people that, in order for Brock to win the starting job and let it be no competition between him and Trey, Brock has to win the Super Bowl? Or are you like me that regardless of what happens on Sunday, Brock has showed enough to earn that job, in my opinion? Chew the clock, conquer the time of possession, and move the ball effectively up and down the field, keeping that offense of the field as much as you can for the entire 60 minutes. Jason, what's up, Jason? Welcome. Let's all welcome Jason to the Niner Sickness Podcast, everyone. Welcome, Jason. Make sure to hit that like button for your boy. Good day, faithful. How's it going, Beto? I'm doing great. Talking football, doing what I love to do. Hanging out with you guys. Cannot complain, Jason. Cannot complain. 21 Niners, 20 Eagles. John Al. Welcome, John. I can see that happening. That's respectable right there. This game is going to come down to whoever has the better game plan who coaches the better game in mind and who executes the game plan the best as well. Raiders will give you Carr for a second. Ooh. I don't know if Carr wants to be a backup, though. I think Derek Carr wants to be a starter somewhere. I don't know if he's ready for the backup position. Frank says, Brock, the man. I think he is. I'm sold on Brock. I'm sorry. I love Trey Lance. I rooted for Trey Lance. I bought Trey Lance's jersey. I will continue to support Trey Lance, whether he's here or somewhere else, because I do believe in this young man. I do believe Trey will be very successful, but I can't turn my back on Brock. I just can't. Brock done enough to convince this old man that he deserves to be the future of this organization. But that's me. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Yeah, he's from Arizona. You're right. He's from the Arizona area, Frank. That would be a great story, wouldn't it? Definitely will make a movie out of it. If they made a movie of Kurt Warner, they will make a similar movie about Mr. Brock Purdy, for sure, especially if he wins the Super Bowl. And he'll be the first rookie to ever do that, because in the history of football, no rookie has ever made it to the Super Bowl, much yet won it. And then not only a rookie, but a 7th round rookie taken with the last pick of that round, Mr. Irrelevant. He's not irrelevant anymore. My goodness, what a storyline. But for me, he has done already enough to earn my respect and loyalty as my QB1 in San Francisco. That's me, though. Yes, he is. Win or lose, I think he's the one, no matter what happens. See, Victor's on board with me. Victor's on board. I understand we get emotional. We have emotional attachments. The more he wins, the more excited we get. But I love football. I'm emotional too. I get emotional. But I don't go after my emotions. I go after what I see and the facts. I looked at enough tape. I seen enough tape on Brock. I like what he brings. I love the way he commands the huddle. I love that the players respect him. I love that he is very calm, cool, and collective. He processes quickly. He makes smart choices. He doesn't turn the ball over. He extends plays with his feet. And he makes everybody around him better. I've seen enough for me to say he's my QB1 going forward, regardless of what happens on Sunday. Now, if he wins and the Niners move on, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be on fire. I'll be on cloud 9. But if he doesn't, I'm still proud of my team, and I'm proud of one Brock Purdy. I think at the very least, we have a quarterback battle in camp. But Brock goes in as the number 1, and Trey has to take it from him. All right. I doubted that he can do it based on what I've seen from Brock, but I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Iron sharpens iron, as one man sharpens another. Let the battle begin. But it shouldn't be an open competition. It should be, well, I don't know if that's the right word. In other words, Brock should be the one going in as the number 1, and Trey has to do beyond to take that away from him. Not, okay, they're both equal. and it's up for grabs. How often do you do call-ins, Beto? I try to do call-ins, but then I kind of get away from it. I kind of forget. I gotta find out a day that kind of works for me, and I need to dedicate that day specifically for call-ins, whether people call in or not. See, that's what happens. I get discouraged at some, and I shouldn't. Sometimes I get one or two callers, and I'm like, it's not enough. Let's not, and then I don't do it. I need to, shame on me. I need to be persistent, right? I need to be persistent. So let me figure out a day that works for everybody, works for me, and I'll dedicate that for call-ins, whether I get one call or 30 calls every week on that time frame. I will do call-ins. I'll keep you posted, CarCast. No, I think Brock has to win the Super Bowl for me to be a legitimate starter next year for the Niners. So let me ask you, Austin, and I respect your feelings on this. I'm not disrespecting but I just want to ask you. You're saying that you feel that he has to win the Super Bowl, right? And bring the title for him to be a legitimate starter. Even if he doesn't win the Super Bowl, let's say he makes it to the Super Bowl, doesn't win it. He just gets outplayed from either Mahomes or Joe Burrow. This kid, it's his rookie year, a 7th round pick. Nowhere in his wildest dreams that Brock Purdy ever dreamed that he was going to play in the NFC Championship game this year. Maybe sometime in the future, but as a 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the 7th round, he probably didn't think he was going to play in a meaningful game probably through 2 to 3 years from now, if we can keep it 100. The fact that he's playing meaningful games this year and played as good as he has, I ask you, what has Trey Lance shown that he is better than Brock is today? I think that's a fair question, right? Trey Lance has the potential, but Brock Purdy's showing you what he can do. So even if we don't win the Super Bowl, why is that the only way that he is a legitimate starter when, to me, he's shown me he can play better than Trey? But that's me, though. And your thoughts are your thoughts, and I respect it. But I have to respectfully disagree. I think that he's shown enough to win me over as my QB1. And it's not that he hasn't lost a game yet. This will be his first game if he loses. But it's not only that he hasn't lost a game yet, it's how he's playing with poise. He's smart. He's not playing like a rookie. And he is a rookie. Imagine with a whole offseason building around him and then building more mass, building more, putting on more muscle into his body, what he's going to look like 2 years from now. He's one of the best at battling balls down. Drake Jackson, yes. I went ahead of your question. Can't the Niners just activate Drake Jackson? This is the thing that I heard. Drake Jackson is not a good run stopper. He's not good against the run yet. And as much as they need pass rushers, they also need to contain the run. And he doesn't help out in that area. So that's why they deactivated him, or they don't activate him. but he does bat the balls down. But they need someone that can help stop the run, not just pass rush the quarterback. Yes, 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 yes. I don't want to take nothing away from Garrett Wilson or Kenneth Walker. What Kenneth Walker has done as a running back in Seattle has been amazing. What Garrett Wilson has done as a receiver in New York has been amazing. But you got a quarterback that was entrusted, thrown into the fire, hasn't lost a game, has played 8 games, hasn't lost a game, and has taken his squad to the NFC Championship game. If that is not a good reason for him to win it, I don't know what is. And not only that, but look at his numbers. Look at his touchdown compared to an interception ratio. Man, this kid is just lighting it up. Juwan Jennings, key third down magnet. Yep, we're going to need him. John, welcome, John, to the Niners Sickness Podcast. I am all for Purdy being QB1. If we win the Super Bowl, no harm in a quarterback battle in the offseason. He'll beat out Trey if he's truly the number one. Very true. Very, very true, John. Rolando says, I'm with you, Sickness. He has earned it. Absolutely. Now, I am not against competition. I'm a firm believer in iron sharpens iron. If Trey Lance plays better than Brock, then hey, he deserves a shot at the starting job. But I think that Brock has just shown me enough to convince me that he deserves to be QB1. But I am not against any type of competition whatsoever. What's up, Robert? Welcome to the channel. Let's welcome Robert to the channel. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Beto? What's up, Big Mark Sports is in the house. Welcome, brother. Lance will be good when he gets his chance. Injury messed it up for him. Again, this is not me bashing on. I love Trey. I want to see Trey be successful. I wanted Trey when we were looking for a quarterback to replace Jimmy in the draft. Trey Lance was my choice. I was ecstatic when we drafted him. I believe in Trey. I want him to be successful with us or somewhere else because the young man deserves it. But I can't deny what I've seen from Brock Purdy. I just can't. I cannot deny what I've seen from Brock Purdy. But let the competition be. If Trey Lance can outplay Brock Purdy as good as Brock Purdy has played, then we have a great situation, right? Then Trey Lance is our starter and Brock is one hell of a backup. And the beautiful thing is neither one of them is costing a lot against the cap. Now, Brock is cheaper, definitely cheaper than Trey, but they're both cheap. Ma Lopez says, Purdy is our new quarterback. He has shown poise and how talented he is. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mod. Who expected us to even be in the NFC Championship right now with Brock Purdy? Nobody. Now look at us. That's a very good point, Carcast. When Trey Lance went down, we knew. We wanted Trey Lance to be successful. We wanted to be where we're at today with Trey Lance. That was the whole objective. Could Trey Lance get us to the NFC Championship game because Jimmy did it the year before? That was the whole conversation. And then we signed Jimmy G to be the backup. When Trey Lance went down week 2 against Seattle, as much as painful that was and sickening to my stomach, and I can't speak for nobody else, but I think a lot of you guys are with me. I was still confident that we had Jimmy G. Even though I'm not a big fan of Jimmy G, I was still confident that we can win games with Jimmy. So I wanted Trey, but I was confident in Jimmy once Trey got hurt. Fast forward, going to the Miami game. When Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, no way in the world was I confident in Trey Brock in the replacement of Jimmy G. I didn't know who Brock Purdy was. I've heard of him. I watched him play here and there, Iowa State, but I don't know who he was. Oh, crap. Oh, crap, I said. Wow, our season. I mean, you lose your number one, your QB1 week 2. Then you lose your QB2/QB1 and Jimmy Garoppolo against Miami. I forgot what week that was. Crap, our season's over. What team out there can survive the loss of their starting quarterback, much less survive the injury to not one, but 2 of their starting quarterbacks and still make it to the NFC Championship game? That is a testament of Kyle Shanahan's great coaching, Brian Griese, and the abilities of Brock Purdy. The combination of those 3 has gotten us to the NFC Championship game with a rookie. Reyes, how you doing, Reyes? Welcome to the channel, my friend. It's not even Lance's fault. It isn't. It's not his fault. You're right. Yep. That's a very good point, Big Mark. They're coming in healthy, and that's the important thing. Well, I'm not saying he doesn't like Trey. He's the reason why we drafted Trey. But what I've been hearing from camp early on in Trey's tenure was that he wasn't accurate. He was inaccurate. What I heard about Brock Purdy in camp, listen, Studfield was our backup quarterback that the Niners signed in the offseason and gave him $2 million guaranteed. $2 million guaranteed to be the backup to one Trey Lance, because the Niners were separating from Jimmy, not knowing that Jimmy would still be here. Here comes in the 7th round pick from Iowa State, Mr. Irrelevant, and just outbeats Studfield. The Niners we're cutting Studfield. We gave him $2 million. We're still cutting him because they did not want to take a chance in cutting Brock Purdy and him getting picked up by another team and not making it to the practice squad. That's how good and how much they believe in this young man. They didn't want to take a chance in cutting him. Do you think once Trey Lance comes back, will the injury take a huge toll on his physically more than mentally to start off? It all depends on Trey, honestly. It all depends on Trey, how much mentally he can handle. Oh, he's gone. There's no question, bits or buts. Regardless of what happens with Brock or Trey, Jimmy Garoppolo will not be here next year. And I know people say, wow, that's what we said. This offseason coming up is going to be completely different than the offseason we just went through with Jimmy. Week 6? Week 6? Can't even speak right. Week 6? Week 13. Yeah, that sounds about better. Week 13. So you have 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. You have 5 weeks of winning football from Brock. Hello, Tommy. Welcome to the channel. Hi, I'm Tommy. Well, I am Niner Sickness, a.k.a. Niner Beto. Welcome. Yep. And one thing we do know about Brock, he's not just a game manager. You can win games not just in spite of him, but because of him. All right, guys, that is going to be my show for today. I've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes. You guys are amazing. Like always, I always enjoy talking football. I always enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys one-on-one. You guys have a blessed day. For everybody that showed up on my chat, thank you for being part of the Niner Sickness podcast. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and always keep those notification bell lit up so whenever I go live, you will be notified. Until then, this is your boy, Niner Sickness, saying sayonara until the next live. Peace.